Hey there, good morning everybody. So, second conscious coffee back after a very long break. And I'm sitting here and I was just racking my mind and having a little conversation with God, asking what the message of the day is, and trying to find my really cool filter. And I think that Facebook got rid of the really cool filter, because I just went through all the filters and it's not there. So, oh well, so sad. Such is life, right? No more stars popping out in my eyes. Sad, sad, sad day. No, not really. But I was just kind of thinking about everything, and as I was sitting here, it kind of came to mind that one of my biggest challenges, which is why I'm going to share this, because it is one of my biggest challenges, is that I always want an answer. Always want an answer. So here I am, I'll go and I'll pray and I'll meditate and I'll write in my journal and I'll do all this manifestation work. And then I want an answer. And it's like I want God to send me an express letter or an email. That would be nice if God would send me an email or a text message really quick and go, hey, Kendal, expect this to happen at this time on this date in this fashion. Or, man, you really nailed it in your journal today. That's exactly how that's going to go down. Some sort of confirmation and some sort of just answer where there's certainty as to what is going to take place. Which is really, really goofy when you think about it. Like when we're dealing with the spiritual realm and when we're dealing with God and trying to know, predict the future, you can never know exactly what is going to take place. No matter how much you write it down, no matter how much you try to word it perfectly, things just kind of manifest the way they need to manifest instead of how we want them to manifest. But still, we're human and we kind of want certainty. We want answers. We want to know what is going to happen, even though we'll never really know, right? We'll never know until we know, until it's passed by, until it's occurring. But why do we need to know? That's the true message here is in the why. And the why is that we want to control it. We want to control it. So our ego is at play. And our ego wants to try to manipulate, control anything that is going on, because unless we feel that we are fully controlling something, then we're not really feeling at ease in that thing, right? And that's kind of bullshit, because there's more ease in just letting go and letting God. Like my conversation yesterday with you guys was all about letting go and letting God, right? Just let it go the way it needs to. And then today, my realization is, but I want to control everything. I want to control. I want to control by knowing what is going to happen, which is a bunch of bullshit because we can't know. So it's a bunch of bullshit to think that we can control anything. The only thing that we can really truly control is how we choose to show up in any single moment, how we choose to react to anything that is presented to us, and what we are choosing to put into our minds and pay attention to, focus in on. That's why journaling is so important. Like this morning, if you look, this is a new journal that Addison gave me. I love this book. But you see, if you journal that shit out, right? This is all positive journaling. I do a lot of positive journaling in one book. I keep a trash can journal, which I don't leave sitting around because it's trash. So I don't just leave it sitting around. Don't want that stinky stuff out and about. But when you journal it out in such a fashion, and if you're interested in any of that to see what the heck I do and how I journal, my Feel Good Now course has detailed journaling prompts and how I go about my daily stuff to manifest things that I want to have happen. But there is an openness to the journaling. It's not so directed that I'm handcuffing God, you could say. And what we tend to do is we tend to try to handcuff through the desire to control, through the desire to always have an answer, to always have things show up in a certain fashion. Think of it like you're handcuffing God in those moments when you're trying to really dictate how something's supposed to come about, instead of just getting in the flow, getting in the groove, and letting it flow out or flow to however you need. Because that's really what's going on, right? Things are flowing to us and they're flowing out of us. It is a constant cycle of flow if we allow it. The only thing that will prevent us from being in that flow is our own inner resistance to the allowance to the flow. And that resistance comes from ego, comes from a desire to control any situation and try to force it to happen in a way that we want it to, instead of just looking at it from that flow perspective, which means that you have faith, or I like to use the word certainty, faith, certainty, and that means that you're just having faith that that the universe has your back, as Gabby Bernstein would say. The universe has your back. God has your back. You're always being provided for. Everything, no matter how good or bad it is always moving you to your greatest and highest good. And if you keep that in a perspective of that it is always moving me to my greatest and highest good, even when it is perceived as not being that wonderful of an event, know that it is how you are choosing to show up, how you are choosing to process through, how you are choosing to react to whatever is being given you in that moment that will make that next choice for your manifestation process, that next step that you're going to have, how things will flow to you. Can you move into things with a state of grace, or are you moving into it with a state of anxiety, of anger, of frustration? Do you go into the darkness or do you step into the light? That's always the question. Darkness or light? Darkness or light? Which way are you choosing? Because at any given moment over any situation, we are always given the opportunity to choose dark or light. And that darkness or that light all comes from our thoughts, which lead to our feelings, which lead to our actions. And that's the process that you have to really get really used to. And the thoughts are going to depend on what you're pumping in to your mind, into your spirit, into your psyche here, which is why the journaling process is so important, because the things that we focus on as we're writing those down, we start to believe more and more and more what we are writing, and we start to really digest that and become that. I can tell you, yesterday, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty details here, but yesterday I sat down in front of my computer, and every month I look at how much money I make. So I track my money log, and I mean, this should be something that everybody's interested in, right? So we're all interested in making more money. We all want abundance in our life. We all want a lifestyle probably where we don't have to work too hard and still have really good cash flow coming in. You know, we want it to flow effortlessly with ease. And it's something that I write in my book all the time in my journal, is that, you know, abundance and wealth, health, success flows to me effortlessly and with ease. And yesterday I sat down and I looked, because here we are at the end of the month, so I looked at my end of the month overview of how much cash flow I've had come in. And I had just gotten paid an invoice yesterday, so that was not added in yet. So I hired a new client, a new VIP client, and that had not been added in yet. And I had a goal for the month, and this has been really a rough month, as anybody who has been paying attention might realize, because I haven't been on my conscious coffee, I haven't been doing my articles, I haven't been doing my daily vlogs. I've kind of been distant. I've been working with my one-on-one clients, but I really have not done that much in the scope of physical things or actions, work, to make my goals happen, you could say. Now, I have consistently written in my journal, I have consistently taken 10-15 minutes for the majority of the time every single day, little moments here and there, to have that conversation with God, to drop down, to meditate, to bring myself into a state of alignment. I've also had probably about a good 10-day cycle where I spent 10 days in fear frustration, anger. I would even say that rage tapped in there for a little bit because of some of the stuff that was going on in my personal life. And I was just really, really caught up in darkness. And that darkness I could feel was just pulling me down. So I lowered my monthly goals because I had such darkness happen a couple weeks ago in my own energy. I allowed my energy to seep into this darkness, into fear, into ego. So I brought my goals down to where I was like, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to make it. Like, I don't think I'm going to get that goal. I really need to have at least, that's like my bare minimum goal financially for the month. And I really need that, but I don't think I'm going to do it because I haven't really done anything for it. Okay, so yesterday I sit down and Addison was with me, and I looked at my overview for the month, and as soon as I added in my invoice that had just been paid that wasn't in the whole track there, I kid you not, I hit my goal. I hit my goal, my smaller goal, and I was like, how'd I do that? And I looked at her, I was just like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. How did I do that? And everything inside of me wants to try to figure out what my 1, 2, 3s were to make my goal happen. My spirit knows that the reason why that goal manifested was because I got into alignment. I pulled myself out of that darkness and I got into alignment, and it just happened. There wasn't, I did this and I did that, and I sent out this many newsletters, and I think I sent out maybe 2 newsletters this month. I've not even been on my shit at all, but it just kind of all came in with ease, with grace. It flowed. The abundance flowed in that fashion, because even through the darkness, I managed to stay just enough in alignment, and I didn't attach to trying to control how anything happened. It just was. It just is. And that's the thing that you have to kind of keep in mind when you're looking at creation work, when you're looking at manifestation work. The more something just is, the more that you just accept it as though it is here, as though it is the way your life just is, the more that will show up with ease. The problem is that we do this is what my life just is on everything that we don't want. We do that on everything that we don't want, and then we try to control what we have coming in by looking for answers. Well, I want to know how that's going to happen. I want to know how that's going to happen, and I need to know the path before I take the step. Bullshit. That's bullshit. There's no way that you're ever going to know the path. You've got to just take the step in faith. You have to take the step in faith, and you have to do it repeatedly, over and over and over again. And that feeling of, here I go, I'm doing something that I'm not exactly comfortable with. I'm doing something that's giving me those butterflies. Those butterflies can be positive or negative. It's how you choose to perceive them. It's not that they're positive or that they're negative. It's all in our perception of what we want to have happen. So if you're taking that step and you're thinking, I'm going to fall, guess what? You're going to fall. If you take that step and I know that God has my back, that step's going to be there, that next step's going to be there, because it always is. Because it always is. That's walking in faith. And when you walk in faith, the steps always appear. When you walk in faith, the abundance is always there with ease. When you walk in faith, your life just is a blessing. Your life just is full of miracles. Your life just is a fuck yes life. Even when you feel like you're not stepping up to the plate and making all the plays that you need to, that you're not always hitting that home run, that you're not always doing exactly what you need to be doing. Much like my August has been, I don't feel like I have showed up personally, business-wise, spiritually, 100% on target all month long. I have been off my game for the last month. But all it is a decision to go and be back on the game. Be back on the game, make the play, step up to the plate, throw the bat, hit the ball, run the course, do everything that you need to do. Just get out there and do it. It all happens right here, moves to right here, goes into the action. It's just that simple. But it starts right here going, it just is. it just is. My life just is abundant. My life just is full of miracles. My life just is, boom, fill in the blank. What do you want to have manifest? Whatever that is that you want to have manifest, stop asking for the results before you even take the step. Just take the step in faith. Take that step. Know that it will be there. Know that it was always there. And that God has your back. Okay, guys. I think I'm done. See? Yep, I think I'm done. So, you're going to see on here the Feel Good Now course. And I really do suggest that you go and explore that. Check that out. Check out the Feel Good Now course. It has all my daily practices in there that I have just created in habit form in my life, which allows me to be freaking abundant as hell, even when I'm not even trying, even when I'm beating myself up, so that I can shock the shit out of myself and anybody else in my world that's paying attention. Because I really do. I do. I sit there and I go, what the heck? How did that happen? It's that course. It is, guys. You want to go and you want to make 6 figures, 7 figures. You want to pull in the soulmate of your dreams. You want to become your own boss. You want to have the health that you want to have. You want to have the house, the travel, the what have you, whatever it is that really truly makes you feel good in your life. That's the course to get you into that alignment process to start creating exactly that into your life. So click on it, check it out. It is available. It is an online course. It is global, so there is no reason for you not to be able to access it. It really is fantastic. A lot of good stuff in there. There's some cool stuff coming out for local people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We are going to be having a workshop that we will be announcing this Friday for local people. So make sure that you stay tuned. If you are on Addison's newsletter or on my newsletter, if you are friends with me here, we're going to be doing probably a Facebook Live on Friday or Saturday announcing the workshop for the end of the month in September for what we're going to be doing. So you'll just have to stay tuned. I'm not going to give you too much details about it because actually I'm not going to give you any details about it. How about that? It's a surprise until Friday. Surprise till Friday. But there is a workshop coming live to the Dallas area. There's also a whole bunch of other opportunities coming up for courses, workshops online, and potentially even some stuff out of state happening. So be sure that you stay tuned. Get on my newsletter. Sign up for that. You can do that at kendalwilliams.com. At the bottom of the page, make sure that you sign up for that newsletter because that's where all the new activity definitely comes out. And also you get to stay up to date on articles and all that good stuff as well. So I will catch you tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'm not going to give you a time because I'm working with a kindergartner these days and back in kindergarten mode, I'm trying to figure out my new schedule. So I will catch you with Conscious Coffee tomorrow. And as always, stop existing, start living, and I will see you tomorrow. Love you guys.